taking a look at a state race in Ohio that featured a very cool fundraiser over the weekend. Sean Maloney with Buckeye Firearms Association is with us on the show. And Sean, thanks for your time tonight, sir.
Good evening, Cam.
It's great having you back with us. All right, so we had talked about, and we had talked to Ohio State Representative Margie Condit, who was hosting a fundraiser out at a local range. This came under a lot of criticism by the Ohio Coalition to Stop Gun Violence. Is that what they're called?
That's correct.
All right.
And Ted Celeste, a Democrat on that side also.
Yeah, and it got a lot of media attention, the protests, the calls to stop this fundraiser. What it didn't get is, frankly, a lot of support. The fundraiser did, however, get a great deal of support. It took place this weekend. How did things go, Sean?
It was unbelievable. In fact, I would hate to be Ted Celeste and the anti-gun coalition to face the ridicule from everybody involved. I think probably the fundraiser surpassed everybody's wildest imagination. On the day of the press conference, we were actually at one of the last meetings in preparation for the fundraiser, and probably we had 50 or so people that were signed up to attend. You know, those are the same, party faithful or core people that always show up to fundraisers.
Right,
and
right.
Then when that anti-coalition press conference came out, Buckeye Firearms, I fired off an email to Buckeye. It hit the website, Donate Now buttons went up, and registration literally exploded overnight. We went from 50 to probably 200 registered people to attend, and countless numbers of other people showed up. The way it was set up was you came up and you registered, and then you purchased tickets for the different shooting events. But as I found out as I was going from station to station, that untold probably dozens of people bypassed registration and just went right to the range and started purchasing the tickets from the people we had there. And that's when I realized just how big it was when I took a second to step back and look at the people that were around. It was truly amazing.
Anybody show up to protest or anything like that?
You know what? I didn't see any protesters, and I have a feeling that if they did show up to protest, they were probably ushered to the range, and they had the firearm of their choice in their hands and started shooting, and they're probably not protesters anymore.
I mean, it's just fascinating to me. The opponents of freedom, the anti-gun activists, I mean, they really thought that they had hit a home run with this, and we're going to be able to, I guess, try to shame people away from going to the range and shame Representative Condit from holding this fundraiser. But what's really interesting, Sean, is that, they said that this fundraiser was inappropriate because of a recent act of violence in Ohio where a young man stole a firearm, illegally took it to a school, and used it in a crime of violence. They compared this to going out to the range and engaging in some, trap shooting, engaging in some target shooting. Which tells me that despite all of their rhetoric about how they're not really anti-gun and they're only for some common sense legislation and common sense regulations, Sean, they don't even want this range to be open. They don't want you out there. They don't want Representative Condit out there. And they don't want anybody exercising their Second Amendment rights.
Kim, you're so right. Their main comment was that it was despicable that law-abiding gun owners would be taking their legally owned firearms to a shooting range. How ridiculous is that?
Yeah.
I guess when you don't have any issues or any of the facts behind you anymore, you have to reach for straws and grab at something. But certainly it backfired, I think, in much the same way that President Obama has become gun salesman of the year over and over again. Ted Celeste and the coalition certainly were Margie Condit's fundraisers of the year.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And to that end, Sean, do you expect that perhaps we'll see other pro-gun politicians follow Representative Condit's lead and hold some fundraisers out at ranges around Ohio?
My phone's been ringing off the hook, and I was approached by any number of them on Saturday. I mean, surely everybody wants to do it, and they want machine guns. They want whatever they can do to make a statement. It was amazing, Cam, because you're down at the range, and we had trap, and we had, pistol and rifle. And on the rifle range, I supplied AK-47s and AR-15s for people to shoot maybe for the first time and only time. And families came. Children, 7, 8, 9-year-olds with their fathers and their mothers, and they sat down. And they truly enjoyed the shooting sports for 3 hours, nothing but shooting. It was amazing.
Oh, that is so awesome. And again, it sounds like everybody had a great time raising money for a pro-gun candidate. And Sean, I know that you're an election volunteer coordinator in the Cincinnati area. Just out of curiosity, I mean, how would you describe the enthusiasm level among gun owners right now here in mid-May when it comes to Election Day?
Being involved in past elections, I can truly say that we're ahead of the game right now. More people are talking about it. When I visit the gun shows and gun stores, everybody's talking about it, and certainly the fever that was created by this past Saturday, hopefully it goes on and on. I think probably as we move forward, I know the NRA's people are getting in place now. I know Michael Land's coming back to Ohio, and truthfully, we're much further ahead than we ever were before, as far as I noticed. People are realizing, and they finally took notice that, hey, these elections have consequences, and we got to do something.
Oh, that's great to hear. Listen, Sean, thanks so much for coming on the program, sir, and I know we'll be speaking again between now and Election Day.
Thanks a lot, Cam, and I appreciate everything that you do for us.